This is the Bittersweet and Twisted Records podcast with Vince and Bobbie. I'm Vince.
I'm Bobbie.
And welcome to episode 3 of our podcast, which is also part 2 of the Record Road Trip.
Record Road Trip. I like that, the way that sounds. Record Road Trip.
I keep wanting to say Rockin' Record Road Trip.
It was rockin'.
It was pretty rockin'.
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
If you haven't listened to Record Road Trip Part 1, I suggest you stop listening to this one right now and go listen to that one.
Stop right now!
Oh my god, I still love that Meatloaf song. Stop right now!
Yep.
Before you go any further, you love me. Anyway, that's episode 1 if you want to go back and listen to that one too. No, go back and listen to episode 2, which is part 1 of the Record Road Trip. That way you get all the backstory. Because I'm not going to recap what we said in episode 1, because it was like an hour and a half, so we're not going to recap any of that. We want to keep on rolling.
But you could still continue technically to listen to it, because you don't have to. I mean, this is a part 2 of our trip, and we went to different places and acquired different items. So
but it's nice to have the backstory.
Yeah, sure.
And see how the trip evolved.
Mm-hmm. So, but if this is your first time listening to us, thank you. And this is we're going to recap our travels to record stores
in Richmond,
Virginia. And we're just going to discuss the items that we found in our hunt, and just kind of give you a little story info about them, and that way that you can either you already are knowledgeable in these items, or you're going to learn something new, and that's what we hope to do.
You can check out these albums. You can check out the stores we went to.
Yes, absolutely.
We started off day 2. We had breakfast. It what was the name of the cafe? It was at 812?
821.
821 Cafe.
Cafe, fantastic.
It's in Richmond. I forget what street it was on. But if you're in Richmond, you're visiting Richmond, check them out. It was a very good breakfast.
Very good breakfast.
And they have a painting of Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects on the wall.
Yep.
And a Pantera sticker and some other crazy stuff.
Yeah, some other great stuff. It was
it was cool. It was good. We had a good time.
Good time.
So we got filled up. It started getting hot early in the morning. So we went to our first stop in the hunt, which was Vinyl Conflict.
Yes.
And it's a small shop focused on punk and metal.
Yes.
The owner was dog watching.
Oh yeah.
So he had this little dog Charlie in there. Charlie was awesome. Charlie greeted everyone and super friendly, would hang out with you.
Yeah, he was really cute.
Like Bobbie said in the last episode, any shop that has an animal, just gains so many points.
Yeah, you automatically get some. But and also too that this was, like I said, like you said, they are geared to punk and metal. So that that's Vince and I together. I'm the punk, he's the metal. So that was like, woohoo! We're so excited. So it's a small shop. It's near the Hollywood Cemetery, which is a super cool cemetery. We did not get to go on this trip because
ungodly hot.
So hot, and you need to really walk that cemetery to get the full experience. But there's 2 presidents that are buried there, among tons of other Civil War.
As the in the hotel, the TV would turn on, was given a little pitch to
visit Richmond.
And they're like, oh, the cemetery, 2 presidents and 25 Confederate generals are buried there. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess we're in the South.
But it is very cold. It's just a beautiful. But
anyway, back to Vinyl Conflict.
Back to Vinyl Conflict. It's a great small little store.
Small shop, great stuff. He did have a small hip hop section.
Yeah, he did. There
was a lot of newer releases for metal. He had some really great used punk. A lot of bands neither of us had ever heard of.
Yeah.
and we wanted to buy every single one of them we saw.
Did. Yeah.
He had a bunch of Angelic Upstarts vinyl I'd love to have had, but you know, we had more stores we had to hit, so we couldn't blow our budget on the first store.
Yeah, and they had some great overpriced. Well, I say overpriced just
because we're cheap.
We're cheap, but I mean some of the collector items that were on the wall that were well.
Oh yeah, that Rocky Erickson he had. It was like $110. Oh my God!
Which is
it's market price.
Why it's market price. It's just so it's kind of nice. It's like a also a museum to look at these things too that you may have never seen again, or you may never purchase at that price.
I'd love to have that Rocky Erickson.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool stuff and some great.
So
great
he has
45s.
Yeah, so he has vinyl, 12-inch. He's got 45s. He's got a really nice cassette collection. Mm-hmm. Got some CDs. CDs are pretty fairly priced.
Yeah, fairly considering what they are.
You bought a few things.
Mm-hmm, I did. Well, let's see. The first thing that I found, there was so much there that I would love to have had. Like I said, trying to watch and budget. But I found a really cool album called Hellraisers. Or the band's called Hellraisers. The album's called Bump.
No,
Razor Bumps.
Razor Bumps.
Razor Bumps. So I honestly do not.
I've never heard of them either.
No, but
the price was right.
The price was right. I wanted to check them out. They, just the front kind of, like you said, I do find stuff that kind of I'm like, oh, this looks like me. Has a razor blade, and then it has the girl like with fishnets with a iridescent. Platform boots with a vintage jacket holding an old classic microphone, which is very rockabilly-esque style microphone. But yeah, so I don't know this band. This looks like a fairly...
It looks like a newer
release, yeah. Good quality.
Is it black vinyl?
It is That's gray. Ooh, see? I just opened it up with you guys, too. It's very shiny gray. Look at that. What else is in there?
Hold on.
Ooh.
Whoa.
A poster.
Oh, you got a download code.
Ooh, a download code.
You got that.
And so this album it has manufactured in CZ. Wouldn't that be like
it's Czech Republic?
Czech Republic, yeah. So that's why I also kind of grabbed it too, because I thought that would be interesting.
So this fold out is the lyric sheet.
Oh, cool. So it's on Pop Wig. Is the
it's from 2017.
Yeah. Pop Wig is the help me out here. Why am I drawing a blank?
Record label.
Thank you. Record label. This is how my brain works. It just blanks out on me constantly.
The band, I don't even know, the band's not even listed.
No, so that just intrigued me. I thought it would be really interesting to check out. Never heard of them. They were in the punk section, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going for it. And the price was right to try it out, so that's what I did. So I found that.
Oh, I'm curious about this one, too. It's a really...
I think maybe I paid $5 for it.
It was really... like I said, he had a bunch of punk... I mean, there was stuff that was like 20 and up, but there was a lot of... he had a lot of under $10 used punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was... neat. Yeah. So then the second...
And I kept finding a bunch of records. I go, Bobbie, look at this. And she was looking at one section. I go, there's a psychobilly section.
Yeah, so which psychobilly is like one of my top favorite styles. It's just rockabilly, any rockabilly, but psychobilly, when you throw that in there, that's like, yep, that's me altogether. So, and he kept finding CDs that he would show me, and I'm like, stop showing me all these because I can't afford it.
I know, he had some, I should have got that Corrosion of Conformity CD he had.
So much cool stuff. But you did find this really cool.
Yeah, this one, if you didn't buy it, I was going to buy it for you.
Yeah, I like I said, I love my psychobilly. So it was a Necromantics, Dead Girls Don't Cry, but it's a Japanese press. So that was really excited for me. I already have this CD, but I don't have the Japanese print, so now I do.
Yeah, and it's got. And if you're a Japanese CD or Japanese release collector. It's got the Obi strip.
Yeah, so it's...
And we haven't even opened it, so I don't even know if it has bonus tracks or not.
I don't know.
But, yeah, he had a lot of great punk CDs. And
yeah. Now, so he like Vince said, there was a psychobilly section, a very small section. But if a store has a small section, that's big enough section for me, because most places don't have one at all. So in that section, he didn't actually have tons and tons over there in the vinyl for it.
It was a small section.
It was also rockabilly was mixed in there more than the rockabilly section kind of overlapped with the psychobilly, but I found this rockabilly album the band's called Matchbox, and the album is called Rockabilly Rebel. On the cover, the upright is on the back of the upright is a Confederate flag painted on there,
Oh, you need Confederate flags for your releases.
I know, right?
Well, you are from the South, so.
So the artist, there's five guys in the band. This was in what year? 79.
79. Oh,
79.
wow.
So, yeah, a lot of them, of course, have that late 70s kind of, you got the hairspray, slick back look going. Yeah. One guy has a really Conway Twitty style hair. This reminds me of, like, goodness. The helmet hair. But they all look pretty great. This was it's on Sire Records. Now I don't know anything about this band other than their rockabilly, and the price was right, and and just the way that
another $5 one.
Yeah, and just the way that they looked on there. Side one, the first song was Rockabilly Rebel.
There you go.
And then the second one, cracks me up, is called Buzz Buzz A Diddle It. So I don't know, but that I was like, sounds good to me. So I thought I'd buy it, and they thank the people in the back, and so there's even someone playing the washboard. So come on,
oh my goodness,
gotta love it, right? Oh, we got got a washboard on here, a harmonica, a fiddle. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be. I can't wait to listen to this. This sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. So those were my 3 simple finds. So they one punk and psychobilly and a rockabilly. So I was really happy with that. So how about you?
So I actually got a cassette. I got the cassette single of Alice Cooper's "Freedom" and "Time to Kill" from 1987. I mean, the cassette itself is not in greatest shape, but I used to have this back in days. Back in days, I wanted to have another copy of it, and it was just a few bucks. So,
and I think there's probably a lot of music fans that tend to do that as well. I think our age group too. I think something about our age group is that we're very nostalgic for things from when we were younger. So it's like I think when we find things, we're like, oh my god, I had this. I want it again.
I have those 2 songs on CD. There's some Raise Your Fist and Yell album. I have it on CD, and I have a sealed copy on vinyl. Yeah. And that was the second and final album that Alice did with Kane Roberts as the muscle-bound guitar player. They had a guitar that looked like a machine gun that shot flames.
You know they can't see you flexing, right?
They blind their eyes at this. Get out of here. I'm so far out of shape right now.
He was flexing, and I was like, no one can see that.
And so, excuse me. So my lone CD purchase at Vinyl Conflict was Peter and the Test Tube Babies' Alien Pubduction.
Yeah, so this has a little funny...
From 1998.
Yeah, so there's a little funny thing. So you know how Spotify, they'll do that...
end of year, your most listened to artist.
And for Vince, he likes punk music, but he's not a huge punk rock fan. Yeah. But it said
I'm a selective punk rock
fan. Yes. But Spotify came up last year with his most listened to artist was the top one was Peter and the Test Tube Babies.
And I have zero memory of listening to them, but now I've gotten into them because it said it was my favorite my most listened to artist of the year, so now I've been listening to them.
See?
But I think it's great. Alien Pubduction.
Yeah.
And there's one track on here called "I'm Getting Pissed for Christmas," featuring GBH.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and I like Peter and the Test Tubes, so that's
you have
good.
you have that record there. So it's
really
good.
So even if you weren't going to get it, I was probably going to most likely get it. But yeah.
I'm sure it's pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right. So, and then as far as vinyl, I finally got a copy of Whitesnake's Live in the Heart of the City. Now there was two versions of this. Mm-hmm. There was one that was just a single disc, which was Live in the Heart of the City, recorded in 1980. Then there was a 2-record version. Not blocking the microphone with the record. There was a 2-record version that had a second disc. It was recorded in 78 live. And we keep finding the single disc one.
Yeah.
And we were at one shop, and they had the German pressing of it. And I was like, it was like $12. Like, yes. And on the sticker, they wrote, missing record 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then it's not $12 record then.
Right. So we keep finding it, but it's always missing.
Not the one I want.
It's always missing a record.
So we finally found, this is the U.S. first pressing on Liberty United Records. Mm-hmm. It's got both records.
The outside's in great condition for the most part.
Yeah, the records, the whole thing was, the inner sleeve, it's got a bent corner, but the inner sleeves are kind of
Yeah.
But it's just nice to finally have the version I want. And
yeah,
this was before Whitesnake had come to the U.S., so they weren't the Whitesnake that everyone knows. They were more of a they were a lot more bluesy, a lot more almost a pub rock band, almost like the Faces, but with more organ.
More organ.
Then they came to the U.S. and then in '84 and on, Coverdale was like, we're gonna appeal to a bigger audience and just really went commercial.
Mm-hmm. Their logo has always been great, though. I'm glad that they never changed it.
Well, they did change it.
They
changed it with the 1987 album.
Oh, okay. But it's
I love this logo because it's just a snake. Mm-hmm. I used to have a T-shirt with this logo on it.
I'm sure there's someone out there that has this as a tattoo.
I'm sure.
I'm positive there has to be. If you have a tattoo of the Whitesnake logo with this snake, I would love to see it.
And this was a really good lineup with Whitesnake. It had John Lord and Ian Pace of Deep Purple in it, Neil Murray on bass, and Bernie Marsden and Mickey Moody on guitars.
Was this one reissued?
I don't know if it's been
No.
I feel like Geffen in the late 80s, after Whitesnake got popular in the U.S., it was reissued. The single disc it might have been.
I don't know why I had in my head that it was reissued. I don't know.
But this was like, it was like a Whitesnake pre, like 1980. Well, 84 they started the change. So that's 84 is a transitional year, but I'll include it classic Whitesnake because it still had most of that sound. But once you went past, that was Slide It In 84. Slide It In and before and after, like 2 different bands. I mean, there were different players, but sound-wise, it was completely different.
Yeah.
Like if you like I said, if you like some pub rock and blues rock, you'd like early Whitesnake. Mm-hmm. It's a great album. It's got
or if you like Faces.
If you like Faces, it's got some great stuff on here. Like it has their cover of Bobbie Blue Bland's "Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City" on here. It's such a good version. Coverdale had such a great voice.
We both had mentioned Faces, but that's coming up on a episode. We'll be in our next episode of Bargains.
Treasures from the Bargain Bin.
Treasures from the Bargains Bin. So you have to look out for that one when I'll be discussing the band, The Faces.
And so the other record I got was My Girlfriend's Dead by Ian North.
I am not.
And what attracted me to the cover, I shouldn't have used that word, but it's got titties on the front.
He's a boob dude. It does have boobies.
And it's on the back.
And boobies on the back.
And
more boobies? Whoa.
It's a lot of boobies.
That's a lot of boobage.
So this is from 1980. And Ian North in the 70s, he'd been the singer of a band called Milk and Cookies.
I like it.
With Justin Strauss, who went on to become a major remixer.
Oh.
He's done remixes for like everyone. And then after they broke up, Ian they were in New York, he went to England and formed band called Ian North's Radio, and they broke up. Then he had a band called Neo.
Okay. He's had a lot of bands.
Yeah, and then he went solo, and then he did a few things in the early 80s, and then didn't do much for a bunch of years, and then he died this year.
Oh, so sad.
So I don't know what his cause of death was.
But he had like the beginning, or he had that like that skater bangs. Or like,
Skater bang?
yeah, look at it. It's like very almost over the one eye.
I think he kind of looked like Brian Ferry.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, I'd never heard this record, so I was really surprised to see it, and I can't wait to listen to it.
Oh, Sasha.
Because I'm not just a hair metal guy. I do like some punk too, and I like a lot of new wave and cold wave stuff and
goth. Yes. So that was the first stop.
That was Vinyl Conflict.
That was Vinyl Conflict in Richmond.
And then we went to. Let me look at our stash here. Oh, on our way to our next record store, we stopped at a thrift store, which I'm not going to name.
No.
But it looked great online. It wasn't great in person.
Oh, no.
And a lot of their stuff was overpriced.
Way overpriced.
And they had a small record and CD section. And
very small. And
they had the CD Don't Come Easy, which is the first album by the band Taiketo from 1991. I mean, for lack of a better term, they're a bunch of long-haired dudes, hair metal. They weren't that metal. They're more rock, but... I wanted the CDs were 50 cents, and I left all my money in my cash in the car.
Yeah.
So I really wanted the CD, so I had to find something else to buy. I'd rather use a credit card. So I got a copy of Twisted Sister's "Stay Hungry" on vinyl for $4,
which we see everywhere we go.
Yeah, I mean, places are starting to want more for it, but I already have a copy of it.
Right.
They might want a copy I have is really beat up, but it amazingly plays. And this one is in fairly good shape.
Yeah.
Fairly good. I mean, there's some marks on it, but it's in way better condition than one in my collection. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this one will probably end up in the store. I'll test it, make sure it plays. But it'll probably end up in the store so it can go to a home that loves it.
I'm sure there's lots of Twisted Sister fans out there.
You gotta have at least one Twisted Sister.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, it's got the hits on it. I Want to Rock and We're Not Gonna Take It. But then it's got good stuff on it like Burn in Hell and SMF. It's decent stuff, And so that'll be in the store before too long, and someone can enjoy Dee Snider and the boys.
Yes. Good old D.
So then we went over to Record and Relics, which is another small shop.
Yes.
He had a large jazz section.
Very large jazz section.
He was playing jazz.
He was playing jazz.
And there's a fair amount of customers in the store once we got in there. And after this one long jazz piece finished playing, he thanked everyone for not heading for the door.
Yeah. He said his wife would not have been so patient, and she would have shut it down. I said, I didn't say this out loud, but I was thinking, I definitely would have shut it down too.
He had some VHS tapes that I'd like to have had, but I wasn't going to pay $20 for one. And he had a few 8-tracks.
Yeah.
And I meant to buy the Alice Cooper Killer one he had because it was the tape itself, the cartridge was red.
Yeah.
And I was going to get it, and I got distracted when I found a bunch of $5 records. And he had a pretty good metal and hair metal cassette selection. He had a bunch for $1.
He did.
Then he had some for a little more. And he had a big Phil Lynott poster on the wall. Mm-hmm. And he had some signed records. He had a signed Kiss one by all the original guys. He had a signed Runaways. Mm-hmm. He had 2 other signed records up.
I can't remember. I just was focusing on the Runaways. I wish I could.
And he had that Sherry Curry record that we saw in Vinyl Conflict, but it was like $40.
Yeah, which is market value evidently because everywhere we've seen it twice, and that's the price that it was. So it was a small little shop, and I have to put it in perspective that the city of Richmond
is massive.
Massive. So these stores. Not one of them could we walk to the other one. We've had to drive to all of them, and they've all were different sections of Richmond. So this was in Church Hill, that was Church Hill. Yeah. So there's I remember because we had to go up a hill and there was lots of churches. Yeah. So they call that part of town Church Hill. So It was a very, very small, it looked almost more residential than anything area. There was a couple little things, very quiet. It was actually nice.
And he had a good a lot of $5 records.
Yeah.
You found one.
I did find one.
And what did you get?
I got NXS, The Swing. Like in part one of this trip, I really got into NXS more, or revisited it after I watched that Netflix documentary on Michael Hutchence. So I've been pretty much buying up anything that I find of them. Not that everything by them is great, I know, but it's just I just feel like the loyalty I need.
And so this one's
Michael Hutchence.
This has a gatefold cover.
So this is a gatefold.
It's a Record Club edition.
It is Record Club edition. It's The Swing. It's great. A lot of different photo shots.
And the
record
guys. Itself is in pristine condition. It's amazing.
And it comes with the original inner sleeve.
You should use that clear one for trash bags.
Trash bags.
It was so tight.
But yeah, so it's a little discoloration on the inner sleeve, but other than that, it's in great condition. We usually find it
for a lot more than $5.
Yeah, we usually do. So
because it seems like NXS records are going up in value recently. I guess because of the documentary.
Maybe documentary is it's really good. Great. It's just have your tissues ready. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so this was a great find for me. I was happy with it. So. And then you found a few more things.
First, I found a few things, and she kept going, how about this? How about this? I'm like, well, just stop finding me stuff.
So we get each other back.
So I'm going to start with some cassettes. Let me start with... So I did get some more cassettes. I got Black Sabbath's Forbidden and Black Sabbath Cross Purposes. They're 90s Sabbath. Again, with Tony Martin singing, as I mentioned earlier. How I like Tony Martin era Sabbath.
Yes.
I mean, Forbidden was produced by Ernie C. of Body Count, and a lot of Sabbath fans call it the worst Black Sabbath album.
Oh.
I don't think it is. I rather enjoy it, and I think there's some turds on it, but overall, it's not that bad. I mean, I think it would have been better if it hadn't been called a Black Sabbath album. Same thing with all the Tony Martin albums, but I think that period's just really underrated. And I got the first release of the self-titled Rat EP on Time Coast Records. Mm-hmm. It's in okay shape. Yeah.
Were these all the dollar ones? Or?
No. The Sabbath and Rat weren't dollar ones.
Oh, okay.
I had to pay a little more for those, but I really wanted them. And then I got a self-titled, self-released cassette, 1988, by a band called Circus. And it was recorded at Morris Sound Studio in Tampa, Florida, where a lot of death metal bands recorded.
Which sounds hilarious to me in Florida. When you think death metal, like I always say this, like
go ahead, finish.
I was going to say, I don't think of like...
There's tons of death metal from Florida.
Well, no, I was going to say with the heat, because I'm thinking when you think of death metal, I'm like, I just want to be somewhere where it's cold, because, death metal, we tend to wear a lot of black, and who wants to be out in the heat? And so I'm like, Florida, oh my God. Maybe it's because they're so pissed off from the heat. Maybe. That's why we have a lot of death metal from down there.
Maybe. But, I haven't listened to this yet, but these guys definitely aren't death metal by their titles of Movie Star, Runaway at the Circus, Burnin', and Rain is Falling. But apparently these guys are still around, some of them. They're still using the Circus name, and they're like a classic rock tribute band now. They just do covers.
Nice.
So that was a pretty cool find. And now on to the records I got.
Yes. Yeah, you found a few.
I was surprised. So at first, I didn't find that many. And then the last section, when you found the NXS, there was a bunch more. So I got Y&T's Down for the Count, which had their hit, Summertime Girls.
I love the cover.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool cover. Dracula trying to bite a robot.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
It's got a few marks, but overall it's in good shape. It's just a $5 record. I'm not a huge Y&T fan.
Mm-hmm. What's the Y&T for?
Yesterday and Tomorrow.
Oh.
That's what they started in the 70s. And that's what they used to call themselves, and then it became Y&T. But I think like 3 of the 4 dudes that played on this record are dead. So there's that. And then I got the 12-inch single of Stars by Hearing Aid, which was the all-star benefit that Ronnie James Dio put together in '86, and so you had tons and tons of singers and musicians from all kinds of bands on this, and you had Ronnie James Dio, you had Dave Meniketti from Y&T, you had Rob Halford and Kevin DuBrow and Paul Shortino Rough Cut, Jeff Tate of Queens, or Don Dokken.
Wow, that's a lot of name drops right there.
I know. Well, get ready. Craig Goldie from Dio, Eddie Ojeda from Twisted Sister, Vivian Campbell of Def Leppard, Brad
Holy
Gillis
crud.
of Night Ranger, Neil Schon of Journey, George Lynch of Dokken, Yngwie Malmsteen, Carlos Cavazo of Quiet Riot. Oh my goodness!
Oh
all
my
these
gosh!
people.
And if you're playing the drinking game, then you are
And
just
then you have
drunk
Adrian,
right off this album.
You have Adrian Smith and Dave Murray of Iron Maiden. You had
Whoa!
Spinal Tap on here.
Holy
Dudes from
Toledo!
Wasp did backing vocals. That idiot Ted Nugent's on here.
We're gonna have a playlist from this.
Yeah, just have a playlist. It'll be called the Hearing Aid playlist.
Oh my goodness, that was a lot of bands.
But there was also an album that had like unreleased studio tracks and live stuff on it, but that was just only cassette and vinyl. And this is the 12-inch single of Stars. And I think it's got like the short and long versions on it.
Okay.
It's got the long version and then the short version. The long version's like, and then it has like a little interview of Dio on it.
I was listening today to on the way up here because Vince and I are not living together as of yet, but so there's an hour drive that I have to come visit my love. But so I was listening to last podcast on the left, which is one of my favorites. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys. I feel like you're my brothers. But they were Henry Zabrowski was saying that how Dio, he said he was only, or no, maybe it was Marcus said that he was 4'11".
I don't think it was that short.
No, they said he was 4'11".
I don't think he was 4'11".
Marcus said when he went to meet them, he was Ronnie was sitting in between. I'm not sure who he said because I can't even remember what band he was seeing, but he was sitting in between them, and he just looked like, what did he say? He said he's very gnome-like.
Yeah, he was a tiny dude.
He said it looked like they gave him a booster seat because he was just looked so tiny sitting next to these other musicians. But I was like, wow, what a powerful guy. And Henry made the comment. He's like, even if he was only 4'11", he was still powerful enough that he would come. Sleep with your mother and punch you in the face on the way out. Like he was still powerful.
I mean, I got to see when he was rejoined with the Sabbath guys under the Heaven and Hell name. I got to see him on one of those tours, and it was just phenomenal. I could have saw his last show ever, but I didn't go, and I'm kicking myself for not going to that.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, it says on here on Google it's 5'4". So
see, I didn't think it was
you're
that
a little
short.
bit off there, a little bit, Henry.
So anyway. Back to my records from Record and Relics, and I found a sealed copy with the hype sticker of Keith Levine's Violent Opposition. Mm-hmm. This was the first album he did after leaving Public Image Limited.
Yeah. It's funny because even the coloring reminds me of Pill a little bit.
So I don't know what this is going to sound like, but it was still sealed for $5.
From what year?
I don't see a year on it. It's on Tang Records. Yeah, 1989.
It's just fun to see. So it's been still sealed the whole time.
Yeah. And the people on it, Flea is on it. Mm-hmm. Who else is on it? Halil Slovak from Chili Peppers, Jack Irons. Mm-hmm. So it's got some cool people on it. I can't imagine what it's going to sound like, but we'll find out, because that's a keeper, unless it totally sucks.
Yeah.
And the next one I got is Rod Stewart, lead vocalist. Which
Rod.
is
look at him.
1993 German release. It's a really interesting one. It's got
Gotta love Rod. That outfit though.
I know. It's got the back cover has like a picture of Rod Current at the time in the background, then the 70s Rod and the late 70s Rod at the front.
I've had a huge crush on Rod. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, we'll go into that.
Yeah,
we'll devote
later.
We'll devote an episode to that.
We will, but I've loved Rod forever. He just has the killer style.
So let's see. It's got good. It's got a Jeff Beck group song on it. A couple Faces tracks. just a really nice
Yeah,
compilation.
and it's in great shape too. Yeah.
German pressing for $5.
Yeah, so.
And I was like, oh, as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, and you said, you're getting this. And I said, okay.
Yeah, finally I bought a Rod Stewart record.
Yeah.
Usually you're the one who buys them. And then next one up is Gary Newman's I Still Remember extended mix 12-inch.
Looks like my my grand dog on the cover.
And this is from 80... They had 2 Gary Newman singles, but I already had the other one. This is from 86, when he had his own Numa record label. And the other one they had, I already had, so... It's got I Still Remember and Puppets. And this single was the proceeds went to the RSPCA in England, so which is really cool. And the back it says, "Please remember, pet is for life and not just for Christmas."
That's right. That is right. Or just through pandemics, because
Yeah.
there was a huge increase in pet adoptions, but as things have been starting to get back to normalcy, shelters have had a huge increase of returned animals, which is very sad. So animals are for life, people.
Ooh, I just pulled off the price tag off of it, and it's got the UK
Oh,
price tag
yeah,
on
it
it.
does.
So apparently
cool.
it was £3 at Hacken and Bell, whatever record, and I'll have to Google that record store. But yeah, so I'll leave that price tag on. So that's kind of cool. And so next thing here is 12-inch promo single from the Japanese band EZO. The song Here It Comes, which it's the same track on both sides. The LP version. It's produced by Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Who? Just kidding, because everybody knows who that is.
It's in amazing condition.
Great condition, yeah.
And it came out in 87.
Is it meant to be a little like ombre like that? Or
Yeah.
is it I was going to say, or has there been some sun fading?
No, it's going to fade purpose.
Yeah.
How much did he want for us originally?
A lot of names on the back of there,
I know,
too.
they had a special thanks on the back of the
my
promo
goodness.
single. Yeah, I was trying to see what the original price
Oh, wow, they thank Hammerjacks.
Well, I guess they played there.
Isn't that funny? Hammerjacks was a bar music venue in Baltimore.
Yeah. And they were going to reopen, but I don't know what happened with that. Oh, and they thanked Pulsations, which was a music venue in Glen Mills, PA.
Oh,
I saw Danzig and Trouble back there back in 90 on the Long Way Back from Hell tour. And apparently Anthrax played there back in the day, and Lizzie Borden and all these people, Slayer.
At Hammerjacks, since you said that, I saw the Ramones twice there at Hammerjacks.
Ooh la la.
I was very happy because I love the Ramones very much. So I like to say that I was able to see them because, we only got Marky left. So.
And we've seen Marky.
Yeah, we did. That was our first date.
Yeah.
Oh, Marky Ramone concert.
And then finally, it's a 12-inch picture disc from the UK of the band Jagged Edge and their song "You Don't Love Me."
There was an R&B.
Yeah, I know.
R&B group called Jagged Edge.
Yeah, these guys are first though.
Yes, well, I'm assuming. And I don't think the R&B version is spelled the same.
I think it is.
Is it spelled? Yeah.
Yeah, because when these guys, there was also another rock band called Jagged Edge too.
Oh, funny.
So when these guys came to the US, they were Jagged Edge UK.
Oh.
So this was a limited edition picture disc, number 254 out of who knows how many. And it has a sticker on the front for their tour dates of Vixen.
Wow. That's funny because,
what year was this?
When you even Google Jagged Edge, it immediately comes up with the R&B group.
Yeah, 1990. And I think the one guitar player went on to play with Bruce Dickinson's solo band, I think.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
So that was our second record shop stop for the second day.
Yep.
So that was nice. And then because of the weather was so hot, I had made the decision. I guess we did because I didn't, I always try to do everything together. But we decided to go to the Edgar Allan Poe Museum. So I went ahead and ordered our tickets for that, and then we went to go have a little appetizers and some drinks, and just to sit down for a little bit, and before our venture on to our next record shop. And then
we didn't have any record shops scheduled.
Right, you're right.
So when we were in there, eating and drinking, I was looking up places.
Yes.
And I found this place called Wax Moon.
Yes.
And it sold. He has records and tapes and VHS. And the side of his building is painted black with a giant mural of his cat.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, first of all, it's all in black. It's got a cat on the front.
And he had arcade games.
He had arcade games. I was like, this is speaking to every part of us. So we were really excited to go to the shop that we just stumbled upon, and that's what's...
So after we ate, we went to the Poe Museum, which was great.
Great museum. Yes, there's one in Baltimore as well where he's buried, but this one is, this is his birth area.
His birth. He was born in Richmond, apparently.
So this has a little bit more of his childhood and growing up.
The museum had a lot of his possessions. It was cool.
And they had 2 cats too in the museum that you could just chilled.
So we did that, and then we went to Wax Moon, and he had a nice selection of like goth stuff.
He did.
The prices were a bit much for cheap asses like us.
That's true.
Like he had Tones on Tail record for $200.
Yeah. So some of them were just like, ooh, like he did it like you said. He had a great selection, but.
So Bobbie bought one record.
Yeah, I bought one, and I'm a big spender here, but he did have a great selection of stickers, and I'm a big kid, and I love stickers. And
you got what sticker did you get?
I got Ian from Joy Division. Ian Curtis. It's a sticker of him. Just great. Just good old Ian.
Face.
Just his face. Singing. And then I got Tyler, the Creator, for my young daughter. When I say young, she's my 17-year-old. But anyway, so I saw this, and it's a Dead or Alive single, Baby Don't Say Goodbye. It was only $1.99. Vince wasn't really, he's usually the Dead or Alive fan, so I thought he would get it, but he's like, I don't need it. And I'm like, $1.99, I can make something with that.
And then I was looking at the record, and I was like, well, if we clean it off, it'll probably play fine.
So we got it. And
is it a promo?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I see I see the.
Oh, he just has the plastics on backwards. Cause see, look. Yeah. So it's a promotional copy of "Baby Don't Say Goodbye," and it's literally
5 mixes of it.
Yeah, 5 mixes of the same song. So, so it's in pretty good condition. The cover's just your basic generic white, but it has a big hype sticker. So no matter what, I was going to do something with it, whether we kept it or I was going to make a bowl or a clock or something with it.
Well, if we clean it up and it plays fine, it might end up in the store. If it doesn't, it'll be a bowl.
Yeah, something.
Or a clock.
That's what we're trying to experiment.
Yeah, we're trying to make record clocks out of records we have that won't play.
Yeah.
Our first one didn't go that well, but we're going to keep trying.
But yeah, so that's the only thing that I came out with the 2 stickers.
It wasn't for lack of wanting stuff.
Oh gosh, no! Oh my goodness!
He had a whole bunch of Alien Sex Fiend records.
And all the Cramps that he had, and some Joy Division stuff. Yeah, there was some really cool stuff that he had that I wish I could have afforded. Yeah. They also have really cool. They also have really great logo.
Great T-shirts.
Great
too.
T-shirts. Yeah.
Huge T-shirt.
T-shirt collection.
Yeah, a lot of movie shirts.
Mm-hmm. So pretty neat store. And then you found...
I only got 2 things. I got a CD single of Def Leppard's Slang from, I think it was 95 or 96. Somewhere around there.
Uh-huh.
And I got it because it has acoustic versions of Animal, Hysteria... Oh, sorry, not Hysteria. Animal, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and Ziggy Stardust on it. Mm-hmm. That were recorded for the BBC, so...
Which I love. I love Pour Some Sugar on Me. I think everyone did. I was in 5th grade when that song. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember we were in Girl Scouts. Did I ever tell you this story? I was in Girl Scouts and we used to do mall lock-ins.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad went, he was the security guard, but this is like, I don't know how many Girl Scout troops were locked into the mall. And we had a talent night. And I just remember the talent night was in the middle of the mall. You could do whatever, dance, sing, whatever. But I remember 2 young girls got up and did a dance to Pour Some Sugar in Me. And I was 5th grade, getting ready to go into 6th grade, and I knew what that song was about, and I was just devastated, embarrassed for them, because I was like, do they not know? Does somebody not want to stop this? I don't know if they should be doing this at a Girl Scout lock-in, but anyway.
And the final thing I got there was Wendy O. Williams, a 3-song live EP called Fucking Roll.
It's very cool. She looks really good on the cover of this, I have to say.
For her, yeah.
For her, yeah. I mean, because sometimes you see Wendy and you're like, ooh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Originally, this was a record store day release on red vinyl, so I'm going to open it up here.
Okay, and see if it, because you don't know if it's that. Okay.
Usually I try to keep the shrink on them. I slit the side with a razor, but this shrink is in cruddy shape anyway. So let's see what color it is.
Yeah, I actually really like how they did this because it's with the pictures of the guys on the back.
Black.
Oh, it's the black one.
Yeah, it's not the red. That's a shame. How cheap. It only has a label on one side.
Really? Oh, wow. Sure does. Has, what is it?
Just black. No label. No label whatsoever on the B
so
side.
crazy.
Is it supposed to be like that?
I don't know.
I'll have to look on Discogs. Maybe I got a rare one.
Ooh.
It's not like I'm going to sell it anyway.
No, yeah. You love your Wendy.
I love Wendy Williams. She was awesome.
She was.
So, we thought, we were like, all right, we're done. we're done.
Let's get on the road.
Let's get on the road and get home. So, we're driving. And as we said in the last episode, the traffic around D.C. gets really backed up.
Backed up.
Whether you're coming from Maryland through D.C. or Virginia up.
No matter what. It's just...
So we were like looking at places along the way if we could stop at. And most of the stuff we saw was closed.
Mm-hmm. Because this was Saturday evening.
So we were getting towards D.C. and I was looking up places. I was like, oh, there's a lot of record stores in D.C. I was like, we should come back down. And you were like, well, what time are they open till?
Yeah.
And so there was Smash Records. It was open until 9:30. Which I thought 9:30 is an odd time.
Yeah.
But, so, she was like, we're going. So
yeah, it was 7 o'clock as we were heading through, about 7:15. And I was like, might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're heading through D.C.
So we went into D.C.
Yeah.
And we found Smash Records.
Yeah, we did. And I loved it right from the beginning because it's
a small shop.
Very small shop. It's very 80s.
Very 80s, down to the cash register.
Down to the old school cash register where they were writing everything down in a pad.
Yeah, he was writing everything down on a notepad and just like punching in the prices.
So I'm just glad we didn't purchase a shit ton of stuff.
And the kid that worked there told me, he was like, yeah, so if this breaks, he said, we have another one in case this one breaks down, because that one's really shitty.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh.
So I got a couple of records and a bunch of CDs, and so he had to write everything behind, and the couple behind us, she was getting so irritated having to wait.
Yeah, she was.
She was like, what's going on? What's going on? And she was, why is he standing? Her say, why is he standing there? And the guy was like, I think he's buying stuff. She was, or is he selling stuff?
Yeah, it was the mom of a guy, a young male.
Was it?
Yeah, because the dad was outside.
The dad just gave up.
The dad just gave up and went out. But the store, it was really cool because they also, instead of having not all music, they also had vintage clothing.
I would say about half the shop or a third of the shop was vintage clothing.
Yeah, vintage clothing. They also had tennis shoes, some used, some old, of like Vans and Converse. They also had some newer skate style clothing and skateboard wheels. They had wheels and decks, which I thought was interesting because this is a really small shop.
Yeah, they had a cool little book section, music books.
A little book section. They did have, your classic Fred Perry shirts there in every color, which for, all those young skins and punkers out there. But
we went through it.
Bobbie
came out with two items. Two
that I was really, really excited for. One is a Kronjen CD, which I've never seen Kronjen out.
No.
Ever. Kronjen's an old punk band. So this was actually from 85. This was made in the UK. It's a Live at the Waldorf album. So, which is really cool. So I'm really excited about it. It has 16 songs from them.
They're most of their new CDs were all punk CDs.
Yeah.
New stuff. In the used section, They had a $3 section, then they had various priced used ones, and they had so much good punk CDs.
Yeah, so I was really excited that Vince found that. So I was really excited that he found that.
Yeah, I saw the spine,
so cool.
and I was like, please don't be too much. Please don't be too much.
Yeah.
And it was like $9.
Yeah, $8.99. Yeah. So it was, I'm really excited for this. It's on the label Punks, Punx. So I'm just really excited to listen to this.
Yeah, there was so much punk stuff I wanted.
There really was.
They had some Strangler stuff and Slaughter the Dogs.
And of course, they had a lot of RSD releases too. Yeah. But the other thing that I found, which I was really excited for this. Awesome. Yeah, I was really excited to find this, and they only had it for $3.99. I was flipping through the small section of used punk. And this was
punk/new wave.
Yeah, punk/new wave. So this is a spoken word album from Jello Biafra, which lead singer of Dead Kennedys. If you don't know,
well, former lead singer.
Singer.
I think he still was at the time.
Yeah, he has had that distinguishable voice. I just loved it. Anyway, so it's a spoken word soundtrack. I love it. It still has the original shrink wrap on it
with the hype sticker.
It says, "Stop. This is a spoken word soundtrack. No music of Biafra live appearances. Contains monologues." I don't even know how do you say that.
Let me see.
Of observations, responses intended to amuse, inform, and educate. So it was a specially priced double album at $11.98 was the list price. On the spot sound quality,
anatomically correct
language. So anyway, it's called No More Cocoons, which is funny because it has sharks all over it. So you're like, what? No More Cocoons. But it just kind of goes with, I think, Jello. So it's spoken word.
2-record set.
2-record set. It's on Alternative Tentacles label. It's from 1987. So a lot of it was things, that are political things that were happening around that time. Remarks or his thoughts on, like, he has one that's a letter to Tipper Gore, which, if you don't know that whole issue, that's something to look up. Just look up Tipper Gore and music.
And so, what was inside?
There
was a mail order form.
It was a mail order form from the original time, original day. Which is awesome. I
love finding stuff like that.
Love it. It's a lot of Dead Kennedy stuff on this form. Oh, I love it. So you can mail in to get a free catalog and a free sticker. Oh, I love it. But also,
this is what is super awesome.
Super awesome was the newspaper. It's an actual newspaper that was done up. Contains real chocolate.
Of all this crazy
just political stuff that was very common of
and since
Jello.
Bobbie's not going to say the name of the newspaper, I will.
Okay.
It's called Fuck Facts.
Yeah,
it's issue 2.
My favorite part is that the headline says, "I was the queer at a Christian theme park. Nuclear winter may not be so bad. Radical preachers out to win."
It's so funny,
even
this
if it costs
newspaper.
Opponents. Yeah, so it's hilarious. It's just, I think it goes right up there with if you know anything about Jello.
All out, all the work that went into this.
Yeah, it's just great. It's fantastic.
This was worth more than $3.99.
Yeah, I would have paid double that, no doubt, probably triple or.
So much to read here.
So much going on. So I just love it. I was super excited, being an old punk rock fan. I am. And that sound of Jello. So I'm super excited for this. This is, it's probably going to be a keeper just because of the...
the inserts are so cool.
Yeah, just the meaning behind it and everything. I just love it. So that was perfect stop to a perfect ending of our road trip record hunting.
And we haven't even got to the stuff I bought.
I know. So you have to tell us now what you found.
Right, so I'm going to start with the 2 records I got.
Yeah.
The first one is Tony McAlpine's Edge of Insanity. It's yet another instrumental guitar album, because I had 2 of them in part 1 for a road trip, and I can't see who played on this one. This one had Billy Sheehan on bass from Mr. Big and David Lee Roth's band, and Steve Smith from Journey on drums. I mean, and he also, Tony McAlpine also produced part of and played keyboards on that Joey Tafola CD that I had in the last episode. Mm-hmm. It's in good shape. We'll see how I feel about it. Like I said before, sometimes in these instrumental guitar albums, it's too much wanking, too much stuff, angry bees for me. But we'll see.
Every time I think, when you say wanking, I totally go for the...
What people think usually means.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's you.
No, that's true. I guess that's just my dirty brain.
And so the second album I got was Skids, The Absolute Game. Mm-hmm. It's a UK pressing of the embossed cover. It's from 1980 on Virgin Records. It's in pretty good shape. This Skids had Stuart Adamson in it, who I believe is the same Stuart Adamson from Big Country. I could be wrong, but I don't
know.
I can't imagine it was two Stuart Adamsons running around. But that was only $5, and it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
And I got it. The first and only DVD of our trip.
Yes, it's true.
I got Wendy O. Williams' Bump and Grind live. It was, what year? I think it was 85 it was filmed.
And this was like $3.99?
No, this was $14.
Oh, this was $14.
Yeah, I paid more for this one because I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm pretty sure it's just the rip from the old VHS tape from the 80s.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
But that is usually outside my price range, the tape, which I'd love to have it. But I know in the front it goes, recorded in Dolby Digital 5.1 sound. It's like, I'm sure you just ripped it from the VHS.
You know, when we pass, somebody out there is going to really love our collection. It's gonna be the kind of collection that we wish we could find now. I
think that you're right, but I think that this is the concert that the Wendy O. Williams Fucking Roll EP is taken from.
Really? Well, wouldn't that be a coinkydink?
Because the DVD is called Bump and Grind, and and the record has Fucking Roll, Ain't None of Your Business, and Bump and Grind on it, and the 3 songs are on the DVD.
Oh.
No, but I'm completely wrong. I retract everything I just said.
Okay.
Because the record was recorded in 1984 at L'Amour in Brooklyn, and the DVD was recorded at the Camden Palace Theatre in London in 1985.
Okay.
And it has a guest appearance by Lemmy and Wurzel of Motorhead.
Of course Lemmy's going to be on there.
And I guess it's probably during their cover of No Class. So that was the DVD I bought. And then I bought some CDs.
Yeah, you did.
I got The Church, Two Places at Once. It's a 3-track promo single. Just 3 versions of the song. Love The Church, so I had to get that. I got Eddie and the Hot Rods, Been There, Done That. That was from 2006? Hold on. That's when it was released. When was it recorded? But it's like an album of re-recorded tracks and a few new ones. I think it was, yeah. So, that's pretty cool. I got Angelic Upstart's 2 Million Voices, which is a compilation of tracks from 80 and 81. So that's pretty cool. I got The Ruts, Something I Said, The Best of the Ruts. And that came out in 1995, U.S. pressing. I got The Pandoras, Nymphomania Live. Which is, what year this came out of? I can't read.
Need my glasses.
1989. And I got it because I was happy because it had Rundown Love Battery on it, because I remember that song from the Headbanger Ball days. And it was only $2.
Cool.
And they got Anti-Nowhere League's Pig Iron, which was just a 4-track EP from 96, I think. And I got The Hounds of Hasselvander, which is the former guitar player for Pentagram. And we're both Pentagram fans.
Yes, we are.
I wish I still had my Pentagram CDs, but I sold them. I have one left.
I have a dream that I will find an original.
A first pressing?
Yeah, first pressing.
We saw a lot of we saw a lot of represses on our trip.
That was wasn't that
a bunch of places had them.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they're like $35.
Yeah, I would love. Oh gosh, but that would be I don't know. That would be it
Find
for
some
me.
80s pressing.
Oh my gosh.
But I actually sold a Pentagram CD to Bobbie. From Pentagram, not this Bobbie.
Yeah,
but the Bobbie from Pentagram. I sold a CD to him.
He doesn't have to sell it.
On eBay. And he follows me on Instagram. So
yeah, that's very
And then,
cool.
As we come to the end of our record road trip, I have one album left in my hand to talk about.
Wow.
And it is a sealed 2 CD set of Theater of Hate Live. And it was recorded, let's see, in 1980, various shows in 1981 and 1982. Came out, it was released in 2018, but the shows were obviously done before that, because I just said it. And it's still sealed. It's only $3, and I saw Theater of Hate a couple years ago in Baltimore, and talked to singer Kirk Brandon, and it was awesome. Theater of Hate are a great band.
Where'd you see him in Baltimore?
Autobar.
Ah, that's one of my favorite places.
That was with the show they were with Chameleons UK and Jay Aston of Gene Loves Jezebel.
Nice.
And I thought Theater of Hate were phenomenal. And Kirk complimented my jacket. But I didn't realize I had a flyer for the show rolled up my jacket on the inside pocket.
Oh, and you could have got him to sign it.
And I forgot to have him sign it. I was too busy talking to him, and I forgot.
I've done that before.
Well, when I got out to the car, I realized it was in my pocket. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
But when the Chameleons UK, I'm sorry, not Chameleons UK, they're called Chameleons Vox. Because when it's just the singer touring, he calls it Chameleons Vox.
Okay.
And when it's him and the guitar player, they call it Chameleons.
Okay.
So it was Chameleons Vox. But when they started performing, the whole venue was packed and went ape shit.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I didn't know they had that big of a fan base.
Yeah.
I thought people would have went out of their minds for Theater of Hate. They did, but it was nothing compared.
Like that? Huh.
I've seen very few times have I seen people go as nuts for a band as they did for Chameleons Vox, which shocked me. But then that was on a Friday night, and they were supposed to play Philly on that Sunday, and they canceled because the singer of Chameleons Vox lost his voice. So they canceled the whole show.
Oh.
I think Theater of Hate and Jay Aston should have continued on, but
yeah,
at least I got to see him.
That's true. You did.
And so.
But that was fun. But if you plan on going into DC and think you can make a quick trip to get in there, just give yourself some time. Just because, we had a little bit of an hour and a half to go before it closed, but we had a really hard time trying to find parking. Yeah. But we did, and we were able to get in there and have a pretty good decent time. Yeah, because
the parking garages were too far to walk. In the heat.
Yeah, it was so hot still.
It was really humid still. At least the sun wasn't out anymore, but still humid.
Still humid.
So we had to circle neighborhoods for a while.
And that town, or that section of DC that it's in, is a residential area, but there's also just a strip of just basically
so many restaurants and bars.
Restaurant and bars. So it's very busy happening there. So just give yourself some time to park if you're going to go to DC and go record hunting. DC is also a very large city, such as Richmond, so you need to give yourself plenty of time to get around and to get from one place to the other. And it's just easier to park and leave your car and take Ubers or taxis around the town. And
so this is the end of episode 3.
Episode 3.
Record Road Trip Part 2.
Yep. So I hope you liked it. Like us, subscribe,
like,
follow, share.
All
and check out. If you want to check out our stuff, take you to our eBay store and all that. Just go to www.bittersweetandtwistedrecords.com.
Yep.
I have to say that slow because I mess it up every time.
Yeah, that has our link to everything. It has a link to where you can listen to the podcast at different places. It has a link to the eBay store so you can buy records and CDs and tapes and all that fun stuff. It has a link to our merch store so you can buy T-shirts and buttons and stickers and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Link to our Spotify playlist, which we do a companion playlist to each episode of the podcast, which features music that we talk about. And we also do individual standalone playlists.
I feel like this is going to be a really large playlist for our road trip.
Well, it's going to be 2 of them.
Yeah, so much
but
music.
like we were saying in the last episode, I don't think a lot of this stuff is going to be on Spotify.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
You never know.
It could be wrong.
True. But so if there's someone here that we don't have on a playlist that correlates to this episode, please just go and,
They're
educate.
probably going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, go YouTube, check them out. Just,
It's all good stuff. It's all good. There's,
And thanks for listening. And, I know we talk a lot of music talk. So, and that's our goal, that's the community we want.
If
our
you,
music people.
If you enjoyed our 2 episodes dedicated to the record road trip, let us know. Let us know if you want to hear us do another one.
Yeah, let us know how we do it because we plan on we've been to plenty,
but we've never thought about recapping.
Yeah. So I'm sure we will have plenty more. We try to do a couple day trips or within day driving.
Yeah, because if you like them, because we want to go out to Pittsburgh, we want hit some shops out there. We'll do one about that. We're going to go up to Connecticut again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just let us know if you like it. So, I think that brings us to the end.
Yeah.
We'll see. We talked about the road trip. We wrapped that up.
We did.
We plugged all of our stuff.
We did.
Also on bittersweettwistedrecords.com is all of our social media that we bother with. Because I still hate TikTok.
We don't understand.
We don't understand because we're old.
We're old.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.